right here at 6:30 p.m. And we'll see you there.
That is the Apothecary Draft House in Jacksonville, Alabama, where tonight another edition of Gamecocks Live and the Rich Rodriguez Show will be coming your way. Hi, everybody. Welcome into the program. I'm Eli Gold. We've got a great show lined up for you tonight. We'll be joined by Sean Frazier to open the show here in just a bit. He is the soccer coach here at Jacksonville State University. And, of course, head coach Rich Rodriguez is going to be here to spend some time with us, spending the better part of the 7 o'clock hour talking about his football Gamecocks. We've got lots going on elsewhere. Just taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. The men's golf team playing on the road in Manhattan, Kansas. They are right now in second round action, just wrapping up. They had a 6-under second round today. They're back by 5 strokes behind the leaders with 18 holes to go. They've got another round of action coming up tomorrow. Of course, the Gamecocks volleyball team now improving to 7-3 on the year. They defeated North Alabama over the weekend, and they've got the next stop being the Ragin' Cajuns Classic coming up this weekend. Later this weekend, that is going to be a good one because there's a very solid field that they'll be facing there. Women's golf, they finished third at the State College Invitational in State College, Pennsylvania. A busy week for the ladies. It was their second tournament of the weekend, which opened with a third-place finish at Kansas State. That's where the men are playing right now. So that's just a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard for the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. When we come back, we're going to be talking with the man who's gotten his Gamecocks off to a good start on the soccer pitch. He is head soccer coach Sean Frazier, and he joins us right after these messages as you're joining us live from the Apothecary Draft House here in Jacksonville.
Can you buy for $10? A hat? A milkshake? 166 channels plus live sports? That's right, for only $10 you can get 166 channels of classic TV shows and movies, including the latest news update from all around the world and local sports. Just simply go to 24ctn.com and click download, and then for only $10 you can have access to the best TV available.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor Difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
Welcome back, everybody. The Apothecary Draft House here in Jacksonville, Alabama. Glad you're able to join us on this Monday night. Again, we open up talking a little soccer, and then Rich Rodriguez will join us at the top of the hour as we welcome you inside. And we are joined now by a gentleman who's gotten his Gamecocks off to a good 3-4 start here to begin the 2024 season. Soccer coach and a darn good one, Sean Fraser. Good to see you, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
It's great to have you. I recognize that accent. What is that, Savannah, Georgia or something?
I tell people West Virginia, they believe me here as well.
I hear you. You guys are getting a good going here. The team has started well.
We're disappointed in results. 3-4 is not where we want to be. We would prefer to be a little bit better than that. But I think when you analyse where we've been, I've been here just over a year.
Yeah.
We are, as a staff, the staff's over there, but I think we're disappointed we're not 6-1.
Sure.
We've dominated almost every game we've played in most moments of the game. I think the one game I don't think we dominated Kentucky. Now they're top 15 in the country and they just beat UCLA, who are the number one team. But we did go toe-to-toe with them. We scored a brilliant goal. They've only conceded 2 this season in 9 games. We scored a brilliant goal against them. We created great chances against them. And I think with where we are now, I think for me as a coach, I think performances are an indication of future results. And the performances are very good. We have a young team and we're growing every day.
There you see the schedule and the results to this point as the Gamecocks have opened up the season. Let's start from the roster that has amassed that record right there before the next match with Liberty. There's 11, as best I can tell, 11 different countries represented on your roster. How do you recruit in that broad of a range to Jacksonville, Alabama?
Well, I think with where we kind of inherited the program, the first kind of 6 months to a year, we had a lot of returners. We returned 20 on the first year I was here. So this year is really...
a 26-person roster.
Yeah. So I think, when I came in, we had a lot of seniors and graduates that graduated last year, a few people that left the program. So this was really the first recruiting class. Now, long term, so, of course, you've got to think short, medium, and long. Long term, we prefer to start recruiting starts here. We try to draw a triangle around our campus. So there's 5 or 6 really good clubs in Atlanta. There's a really good club in Birmingham, and then there's a really good club up in Nashville, Tennessee. So we want to kind of triangle that off and get the best players we can from those clubs. We've started doing that. We have a freshman on the roster now, Alexis Castle, who has started every game. We have another one in tomorrow, so if you guys see her around town, say hi to her. She's on a visit tomorrow for 2025. But we've done some junior college recruiting as well. We brought in 4 All-Americans from junior college this year, 2 first-team All-Americans who are our centre midfielders. So we wanted to do that because we wanted to add some experience as well as have young players. And so, yeah, we've got a lot of new players this year, and they're gelling pretty well. Again, we're frustrated with the results, but we're delighted with the performances.
We're visiting with Sean Fraser, head soccer coach at Jacksonville State University. Pardon my lack of depth of knowledge in some elements here, but the recruiting, we don't have high school soccer to speak of here in the state of Alabama, and if we do, it's nothing to speak of. What do you do? Is it strictly going for the clubs? Do you have also contacts internationally? You yourself being across the pond in Durham, England, do you have bird dogs across the world looking for talent?
We do. I mean, there are some recruiting events we go to. I think in December, Nicole will be in, I don't know if she knows this yet, but she'll be in California recruiting at the Silver Lakes event for the GA. And then I'll be in St. Louis at the ECNL event. We, of course, want to get as much bang for our buck as possible when we do go out recruiting. There is some international recruiting that goes on. There's, of course, junior college recruiting that goes on. But we will turn over every stone possible to try to get the best players we can that will come to Jacksonville, Alabama, and help us win games.
You've had experience internationally, and you've done very well in preparing young ladies for worldwide competition. Lucy and Demi, a couple of ladies who I looked up and I said, my goodness, this man can get these ladies prepared. That's got to be a good feeling when you can see them playing in World Cup or whatever the competition might be.
Lucy Bronze, I talked to her not long ago. She just finished playing for Barcelona. She's back in England now. She won the Ballon d'Or, which is, you know, Messi's won that, I think, 6 times now. On the women's side, she won it. I coached her when she was 16. Demi, same thing, Demi Stokes. She just signed for Newcastle back home. Yeah, good players.
They are. How much is God-given ability, and how much can you or any of your staff members really mold an athlete?
So I think coaches have to believe in the process. So I don't think we can believe that someone naturally has just a gift that they can do really well. Now, it's great if somebody can dribble past 5 people and put one in the top corner.
Sure.
And help you out. But I think, you know, training every day and the process and the plan that you have is ultimately, as coaches, what we've got to believe in. And yeah, that's what we try to do.
Is it easy do the ladies, are they receptive, or are they afraid to change what comes naturally just because some guy says we need to do it?
Well, so I think, you know, we've got a really strong identity here. Certainly the way that we want to play is important to us. The way we want to control games, the kind of the slogan is that we shoot for dominance, but we'll settle for control in games. Now, if when we go out on the recruiting trail, we do build profiles for each position. You know, we as coaches, we're now very aware of what we need to add as pieces for next year. So we try to build profiles that are going to fit and mesh together. Certainly, you overlook good players that maybe not fit your system, but I think first and foremost as well, and one thing I'll say about my staff and my players here, our student athletes, I should say, sorry, we have really good people, and that makes things a lot easier.
It really does, in any line of work, I guarantee you.
Absolutely.
We're going to come back with Coach Fraser in just a moment. We'll talk a lot more soccer. Top of the hour, Rich Rodriguez will be here to talk football. But right now, we break away as we're live from the Apothecary Draft House here on the Square in downtown Jacksonville, Alabama.
I need to try it first.
The Civilian Marksmanship Program, also known as CMP, is a national organization dedicated to training and educating U.S. citizens in responsible uses of firearms and air guns through gun safety training, marksmanship training, and competitions. Their vision is to lead the nation in marksmanship excellence, providing safe, high-quality, and innovative programs with a focus on youth. For more information about the CMP and upcoming events, visit thecmp.org.
Eli Gold here, ready for a winning drive? Go see my friends at Cooper Chevy Buick. Choose from hundreds of new Chevys and Buicks, including a great selection of Car Bravo certified used. Score big with low finance rates and ask about their guaranteed credit approval program. Get top dollar for your trade, no matter the yardage. Your road to victory starts today at Cooper Chevrolet Buick in Anniston or online, cooperchevrolet.com. Official sponsor of JSU Athletics.
Grub Mart and Young Oil, serving East Alabama for over 80 years. Come into one of our many locations throughout East Alabama and try our Joe Bell's coffee along with some Olio's donuts. From Center to Jacksonville to Auburn and everywhere in between, Grub Mart is here for you.
I need to try it first.
Welcome back, everybody. That is the Apothecary Draft House here in Jacksonville, Alabama. I'm Eli Gold. Soccer coach Sean Frazier is alongside. When you build a team, whether it's hockey or in your case soccer, often they build from the middle out. Let's start with goalkeeping. How good is what I'm reading is supposedly very, very good?
Yeah, we got a good one. Poppy Bastock is the keeper that has started with us. Nicole Burke, our goalkeeper coach, has done a great job with her. Poppy transferred in January from UT Martin. I'd known of Poppy for a couple of years. She's English. She played for the English youth national team, so I was fairly connected with kind of that situation. And then when she went in the transfer portal, I was able to chat to her, and she's come in and been our starter since. I think one of the good things we have is the previous starter. So for the previous coach is last year, and my first year is also still on the roster, Bailey Dean. We also recruited a first-team junior college All-American. And then we have Casey Powell, who was an ECNL goalkeeper as well. And then we have Camden Magrowski out of Etowah High School in Georgia. So we actually have 5 really good goalkeepers. We're fortunate to have that. It was never the plan.
But you can never have too many good
players, yeah.
Too many keepers, yeah. You know, a lot of the ladies have come from the junior college ranks, which, you know, many coaches will say, if they can play immediately, I'll take them. But there's such a big difference between junior college and Division I. Is that the same in soccer?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, you know, I remember my first year at ULM. You know, back in 2020, we had a really talented team, but we just didn't have that Division I kind of corporate knowledge on the roster. It took us a year. The following year, once we'd kind of built that up and we kind of knew our way around, the second year we had the best year in school history with basically the same group of players. But that Division I corporate knowledge is crucial. We're working through a little bit of that at the moment. We've conceded a set play 5 games in a row, and a part of that is that D1 corporate knowledge. You know, knowing that you can't switch off, or knowing that you can't take a play off, or you will be punished. So it's a huge part of the game.
Tell me about Allison Sibley. She had a hat trick the other day. She's your top scorer. What's the strength of her game?
Well, her strength is her speed. You know, we want to have a central number 9 who can stretch the opponent, who can get the defenders of the opponent on their heels, and then that'll let our interiors, which is Lale, which is Nancy, other players like that, they can then work in space. So if the centre backs are worried about a central player who is going to run in behind, they're working backwards and creating space underneath for us to play progressively through the field. So Alison has an important role in that. If the defenders don't go with her, she can make runs, which is exactly what happened against Alabama State, and she ended up scoring 3 in that game. 15
goals, if my math is correct, 15 goals in your first 7 matches. If you had your druthers, if you had your druthers, how many goals would be ideal, or is that a satisfactory number in general terms?
Well, I think in 2021 my team was number 1 in the country in goals. So that was obviously a previous university, and I think in Division 2, I think in 2018 and 19 I was number 1 in goals. So that's where we want to be.
What did you teach the ladies to make them number 1? Were there set plays? Was it just because the ladies were so darn talented? What was the key there?
So I think it starts with the mentality of the, from the coaches and what you want to deliver. We want our team to. I don't want to be that coach who goes into games and just tries not to lose or tries to mitigate damage. I want my team to look like a team that anyone would be happy to pay to watch them. And for me, that's attacking soccer. That's playing the game on the front foot. That's being really aggressive defensively, and taking risks. People want to, people will pay the ticket fee to watch a team that'll take risks. So that's what I want my team to do. And now and again, we're going to concede a goal playing that way. But if we stay aggressive, if we're on the front foot, we're going to create chances to score goals.
So much of soccer from overseas is now televised here in the United States. Did you have a team growing up? Were you partial to someone in particular?
Yeah, so you don't get a choice where I'm from. You grow up and you just support Newcastle. So you go home and I walk through the streets of Newcastle and there's 70-year-old women and 85-year-old men wearing Newcastle jerseys in the streets. You just don't get a choice.
No choice there.
Nah.
We're coming right back. We're going to continue with Coach Frazier. We'll talk a little more soccer. Of course, Jacksonville State getting themselves back in action this weekend against Liberty. We'll talk, or actually this week, against Liberty. We'll talk about that and more right after this, as we're live at the Apothecary here in Jacksonville. Don't go away.
Whether it's family for dinner or game time, it's time for Johnson's Giant Foods Deli. All you have to do is drop by Johnson's Giant Foods and grab whatever you want, hot and ready to go. Chicken salad and chicken fingers to die for. Savory ribs, salad, dessert, you name it. It's waiting for you and your family or friends. Johnson's Giant Foods with 5 locations in Gadsden, Atala, Jacksonville, and Coldwater.
The weather is warming up and spring is just around the corner at Miller Sand and Landscape Supply. I'm Craig Miller and we've got something for everyone. From bulk materials like sand, gravel, and mulch to beautiful outdoor decor to make your outdoor living space the envy of the neighborhood. See our beautiful selection of Mazzarelli fountains, flowers to brighten your garden, and an outdoor center loaded with beautiful decor. Whether you need a little or a lot, visit Miller Sand and Landscape Supply.
Serving East Alabama for over 20 years, Samco is your local convenient, clean, and friendly gas station. Fill up your tank with gas, diesel, or your favorite snacks and drinks. Samco has 48 locations to serve you in Calhoun, Etowah, Marshall, Talladega, and Cleburne counties. Samco is a proud community leader in giving back to help support local schools in East Alabama. For your convenient, clean, and friendly gas station needs, it's Samco.
The Point at JSU is an off-campus student housing property located a half a mile away from Jacksonville State University. The Point offers fully furnished, pet-friendly, 2 bedrooms and 4 bedroom units. Resident experience is our #1 priority, therefore we do offer the following amenities: a resort-style pool, fitness center, basketball and volleyball court, and dog park. We would love for you to come see our property, so give us a call at 256-376-8317 to schedule a tour today.
Welcome back as nightfall descends upon Jacksonville, Alabama. The Apothecary is where we are on Monday nights during the football season. I'm Eli Gold. Sean Frazier is with us. He is the soccer coach. We were all reading, of course, about Hurricane Francine, which went through the Mississippi Delta area and wiped your game off the schedule against Mississippi Valley State. Has that been rescheduled yet?
Yeah, so we actually got confirmation today that it's going to be next Monday. So next Monday at 4 o'clock, yeah.
Okay, so how does that impact your schedule? It just fits right in?
It actually might work out okay for us. You know, mid-season, we're looking to get some of the younger players some minutes. We actually, you know, for anyone who follows the schedule, we play Liberty Thursday.
Right.
We're actually then going to play Sunday against Talladega at home. That was a game that was originally scheduled with Nicholls State, and then they cancelled with us, so we picked up the Talladega game.
And then the next day you're playing Mississippi Valley?
Yes, so we're going to go the next day, but what we're going to do is we're going to split the team into 2 and play half in one game and half in the other, so everybody gets to play, which I think is going to be really valuable for us.
That's interesting. It's something you don't often hear done, but what the heck, you know?
Well, I think we really like the players that we have on the roster. We trust them all.
Yeah.
We actually have a male practice team. We just actually scrimmaged against the male practice team today. You know, we did the same thing. We kind of used 2 units. We used 111 in the first part, 111 in the second part, and it worked really well for us. So we're kind of already preparing for that as well. We do have 2 players for each position, just about. And so, yeah, we're kind of building. We're pretty happy with it.
Liberty, as I understand, is the front runner, if you will, in Conference USA. Who else is strong?
Well, we are.
There you go.
But
good answer.
Yeah, no, I think they're a good team. 24th in the country. I think they're 7-2.
Yeah.
At the moment. Good team, but we're not going to sit there and just let them come into town and beat us. We're going we're going to get at them and try to beat them and make them uncomfortable, and that's going to be our philosophy moving forward. We're going to try to win every game.
Yeah, of course, they did beat Virginia Tech. I believe they had a draw with West Virginia, so they must be fairly talented.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, for us, I mean, if you look at us in the last year, Auburn are 5th or 6th in the country and haven't conceded a goal. We played Auburn in the spring. Kentucky are in the top 20 in the country. They just beat UCLA. We played them, you know, and we're trying to get up there and play those teams as well. Samford have won their conference, 7 years in a row. We played those guys, and you know, UAB is obviously a conference contender all the time in what they were in Conference USA, but we're trying to be up there as well, and the only way we can do that is continue challenging ourselves.
And you know what I like also? It's the fact that you're embracing the past and that you're inviting the alums back, and they're going to be here this week. That's a nice I like that.
We've tried, you know, we brought a few back last year, and they were three of the girls talked to the team, and you know, it was kind of like we've opened the door for them a little bit now, and I don't want to say it hasn't been opened. I don't want to be disrespectful, but we've kind of reopened it and made it wider. Let's just say. So then we had one of the alumni, Angela Mast, came in pre-season and talked to the team, talked about her experience, the things that she took from her experience as well. We're going to do that again this week with some of the alumni. We've got so far about 25 signed up for. They're going to have a game on Friday, so we've called the ambulances and we've got everybody on standby because they're going to be running around. So we're looking forward to it.
Let's talk very quickly about in the classroom work. You've got some ladies who have done very, very well, all academic team in Conference USA, and that's a significant part of what this is all about.
Yeah, we talk to the team about standards all the time, and we only recruit really good students. That obviously makes our job easier. And again, I talk about Nicole a lot. She does a great job on the academic side alongside Ashley Oliver, keeping our team organized, keeping them on the right path academically, whether that's study hall or mentorship and so on and so forth. I think the athletic department does a brilliant job supporting the student athletes as well. I think I've been here 3 semesters now, and the team GPA has been above 3.5 every semester. So they are high achieving group.
Well, listen, I congratulate you and where you are and where you've come from and where the team is going. All the best, and thanks so much for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Sean Fraser, ladies and gentlemen. He is the head soccer coach here at Jacksonville State University. When we come back, Coach Rich Rodriguez is going to be joining us. We'll talk football until the top of the next hour, so feel free to join us. If you'd like to be part of the show, our phone lines are open. Area code 256-369-1688. That's 256-369-1688. We're coming back with Coach Rich Rodriguez right after this, as we're live from the Apothecary Draft House in Jacksonville.
At Southern States Bank, we pride ourselves on being your bank. We're your neighbors and involved in the community. We're the bank featuring the Southern Rewards checking account, a cashback account with no ATM fees. We are on the cutting edge and always have a smiling face to help you out. So come to Southern States Bank, where we are committed to great service and being a great neighbor. Let us be the bank for you and your business.
Hello everyone, Tony Russell, General Manager of Sonny King Ford. And boy, do we have unbelievable markdown on used cars that you do not want to miss. It's time to make the best deal on a used car. Shop our wide selection of used trucks and premium pre-owned models. Don't wait another day. Come by and see me, Tony Russell, and let's make a custom deal for you. Find great savings on pre-owned used cars at Sonny King Ford on the sunny side of the street, Anniston, Oxford.
At Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gadsden or Roxford.
Hi, everybody. I'm Eli Gold, and I want to invite you to tune in to Jack State Live, a look at the campus and athletic department at Jack State, followed by the Coach Rich Rod Show, where we will break down and preview the next football game for the Gamecocks. Welcome back to Jacksonville, Alabama, and the Rich Rodriguez Show, coming to you live from the Apothecary Draft House here on the Square. I'm Eli Gold. Coach Rich Rodriguez is alongside, and great to have you with us here today.
Thank you, Eli. Good to be here.
A typical Monday, busy as always?
Yeah, busy Monday. Sundays are even busier than Mondays, but Mondays are a player day off. So, you know, most of the guys will come by and get some treatment and maybe watch a little film, but for the coaches, they'll be here, probably 9, 10 o'clock tonight.
What time do you guys start in the morning?
Well, we don't start. I don't have a staff meeting till 9.
Okay.
Because I usually work out, get on the Stairmaster at 6:30.
Sure.
And then I got to recover for another hour. But then, we start our staff meetings at 9 and just go all day.
I got you. Let's talk about this past Saturday night.
Yeah.
I felt for you. You know, it's tough to lose, tougher to lose in double overtime. You know, I did think, though, that there were some positives. And you might disagree, but I thought it was a better performance despite the outcome.
Yeah, I think, you know, no matter how you look at it, you're going to be disappointed. Not discouraged, but disappointed. And, you know, defensively, we at least played a little better in the second half, got a few stops. Offensively, I thought Tyler threw the ball well, was seeing the field well. You know, we didn't convert red zone into touchdowns like we needed to had we done that. But there's a lot of things we could have done to win the game, and we didn't do it. So, you know, coaching-wise, you know, we think we got to take another step. And then our players, I think, understand how tough it is to win when you make a few critical errors. You know, we didn't turn the ball over, but, you know, we had some mistakes here and there. And I was really mad about the penalties. I mean, we've been really good with penalties the last couple of years. And, you know, we had 9 penalties, which is ridiculous. So we got to get that fixed in a hurry.
Now, nobody wakes up in the hotel on Saturday morning and says, well, I'm going to hold today or this, that, and the other. What happens when all of a sudden the penalties?
And a couple of them, you know, you can watch the film and say, I don't see that. Now, there was 1 or 2 holding penalties that you could see why they called it, and then there was another one like, you know, there's no way that was a holding. But, you know, that's going to happen throughout the course of the game. Usually it happens because of either bad technique or somebody overpowered you or whatever the case may be. But we've been pretty good about that for the most part. But, you know, that in a game like that where it's going to be tight, you know, those critical plays, especially in overtime when you're going to move the ball back, you know, 10 yards for that's going to really hurt you.
I don't know what you said when that bad snap took place.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about it.
I felt for you.
That was a nightmare. I mean, it was.
And the young man didn't mean, obviously.
No, I mean, how many snaps were all, and you know, the whole game were good, and then just one bad one. So you got to be overcome. And it should never come down to one anyway. I mean, that was, you know, obviously a shock, but it was, you know, still something that, you know, before you get to overtime, there's plenty of opportunities to make plays.
Yeah, there were some good opportunities. I thought the pass combination of Tyler to Michael Petway went well. I thought plays like that one right there with Trey Stewart, who had himself a great evening in Ypsilanti, and other plays such as that one.
Cam Vaughn is a young guy, really young guy. He's got a lot of talent, and you know, it was kind of a breakout performance for Cam. It was good to see because he is a talented guy. You know, Petway's a veteran, can play everywhere. And then, you know, I think Tyler Huff, it's just really just his 3rd game playing, and he's still learning our system. Has done some good things, so I feel good where we're at with him.
64% of efficiency passing on the season, but 70%, 71% this past weekend. Not a bad showing.
Yeah, and he's you know, we thought that when we were talking to him and bringing him in as a veteran guy, that hey, this guy can spin the ball. he has a good feel for the game. And what he's shown more is just this competitive nature, too, and running the football. And, Logan's getting healthier now, too, and so we got Zion. So I feel pretty good because we're going to get in a stretch, after this game where we play those 8 conference games in a row, and some of them, I think one of them's with, 2 of them within 5 days. So we're going to have all bodies ready. We're
visiting with Rich Rodriguez. If you'd like to join us, our phone lines are open. It's 256-369-1688. That's 256-369-1688, as you are welcome to be part of the show. How have things changed in 27 seasons? This game.
Yeah, how much time do we have?
Yeah.
It won't fill up in an hour.
Is there one thing that's bigger than the others?
Well, the biggest thing changed now is your roster turnover.
Yeah, the turnover.
It used to be just 20 seniors leave and 20 freshmen come in, and those guys develop, and then the fans get to see the players as they grow and all. Now it's just like, it's like, for instance, I look at Southern Miss, and they have 9 seniors starting on defense.
Exactly.
And I think, 6 or 7 on offense. And so, and some of those are transfers that brought in. And so everybody's kind of getting older teams in there, and it's almost, it's like managing an NFL roster that has unlimited salary cap and unlimited roster sizes. So it's a little bit different, but we got to adjust to do it. I mean, if we want to have success, which we do, and we want to win championships, which we do, we've got to adapt to what is going on right now, and we know that, our school knows that. We just got to get on top of it, and we'll be all right.
I would guess one of the other huge things since you first showed up as that timid little 24-year-old head coach is the size of the players and the conditioning. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and everything's more specialized now. I mean, because kids are playing football, year-round. The receivers are more ready to play, I think, because of it. And there's also, a little bit of, here's talking old school, that, there's more individualism, which is what we fight. And I feel good about our team not having that culture, but you have to fight that every day, because our players, their individualism is going to be from their families, which rightfully so, they're going to be concerned with him.
Sure.
But we have to make sure that our players believe in the team first, and the team always has to come first, no matter what you do. And when you do that, you'll build a culture, and then the 25 or 30 new guys come in, or in this case, 40-some new guys or 50 new guys come in, have to buy into that culture.
Let's go to Birmingham for a phone call. John is joining us on the line. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you all?
Good. How are you all? Good. What's on your mind, sir?
So, Coach, with this loss, it's unfortunate it's 0-3, but what do you tell your team to keep their kind of a positive mindset going into this game against Southern Miss?
Yeah, we're kind of, I'm a little bit different as far as we deal more with the reality, and this is what was good, of which there were some, and this is what was bad. But I want them to care, and I think they did. Nobody was talking in the bus after the game, but I want it to hurt for 24 hours, and then we move on. So today's past 24 hours, but yesterday I was mad, and I wanted everybody else to be mad. But everybody takes it a little bit differently. But I do think they care, and that's a factor that we got to do. But I also look for, okay, what do we need to do to get better? You can't just run around and say, oh, this is what happened, and we got another opponent coming up pretty quickly, and got a lot of talent. It's a team that's been established on the Group of 5 level for many, many years. So we got to get ready to play. And I think we have enough competitors, and we have enough senior leadership to help us through. But I'm not, we're not going to, cry in our milk, so to speak. We lost the game. We thought we had an opportunity to win the game. We didn't. Let's get better for the next one.
Who are your player leaders? I mean, if you need somebody to say, hey, make sure this guy gets
that's a good question.
Up.
We have a good senior class, but there's not a lot of vocal guys with it. But we haven't had a lot of vocal guys in any of our senior class since I've been here. In the last 2 years, there were guys like J. Rowe Harris that were good leaders, but they weren't overly vocal. And I don't want them to change their personality. They got to be who they are. But we have guys like Sean Brown that's been around and done a long way. Lete Hale's been around, and J. Rock Swain has been around, and those guys are, Michael Petway, for instance, and those guys are good guys that got a lot of respect, and I think everybody on the team kind of looks up to them. Brock Roby's one of them as well, that have been here and won games over the last 2 years, but more importantly, they've helped us establish the culture we want.
You mentioned Sean Brown, the tight end. He's on the Mackey watch list. What are his strengths? What does he bring to the table that separates him from others?
Well, he's got great ball skills,
right?
And he's a really good blocker. He relishes that, and he's played well. We've got to be able to get him the ball a little bit and all that, but he takes his craft very seriously. He's a very coachable guy. He gives great suggestions throughout the game.
And he's 6'5", 250.
Yeah, and he's a big guy.
Yeah.
And he's worked really, really hard. So we're glad he's been probably one of our leaders since the day we got here a couple years ago.
Jim Brown is in Oxford, Alabama. Hello, Jim. Welcome in.
Hi, guys. Coach, I got a question. So how are you handling the comments in the social media about your center and yourself?
Well, I ain't read them, so that's the easy way for me to handle it.
Very simple, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if they're talking about snaps and Brock, I mean, he had, I don't know how many snaps we had in the game. He had one bad one, which unfortunately came at the worst time, but sometimes that happens. So I would like the people to think, hey, listen, these are young guys playing their hearts out, and sometimes a mistake happens. But for me, I mean, I've been doing this a long time, so there's plenty of opportunities for people to criticize or praise. I don't get worried about one way or another, and if they really feel strongly about it, they could go ahead and try to be a coach at another team and try to schedule us if they want.
Yeah, if you think you can do it better, let me show me.
I mean, it's like they want to go ahead and try. I mean, it's coaching. It's like Greg Schiano, my friend, said it best. Every man in America thinks they can do two things: coach football and work a grill. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I can do any of those any good, but there's times I can. So, but I don't. 27 years or whatever it has been doing it.
Yeah.
That kind of comes with the territory.
Do you struggle getting those steaks right? You're not good on the grill?
Yeah, I'm not good. I like mine well done. Well,
that's a good thing from what you're telling me.
Yeah, with ketchup. People. Yeah, so I'm a little different there, but it's the same way with coaching-wise. You think this is. I've been under a spotlight a little bit before.
Yeah.
And so has most of my staff. But some of my young guys on the staff, they realize that. But it's funny. It's like I don't know who said this, and I heard it a couple years ago, and I thought it was great. I always remember. I always said, somebody else's opinion of me is none of my business.
Exactly.
So I don't worry about it. It's none of my business.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good way for everybody in all walks of life. Somebody else's opinion of me, it might hurt your feelings a little bit, but it ain't none of my business.
The thing I always use in our broadcast business is those who can do, those who can't criticize.
That works too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I don't.
You can't let it worry.
People, they got some passion for it, whatever.
Yeah.
If you got a whole lot of passion, then give us some money for NIL. Or help us pay for our bills.
There you go.
You want to get my attention? You want me to answer a phone call? Give me $50,000 for NIL, or give me $150,000 for our building. I got Mike Smith right here. Will you take some money, right? Yeah, I would take some money.
I hear you.
Send it, write a check. Then I'll give you a call back.
How'd everybody do coming out of the game health-wise?
Not bad. It was we had a couple guys that were nicked up that didn't play in the game.
Yeah.
That we hoped to help us, but I think we'll be relatively healthy. We lost a couple guys for the year, when obviously with Wiggins and Spector and all that. But I think we came out of that relatively healthy.
Yeah. Is that? I wasn't at the game. Obviously, is it weird playing on that gray field?
It was different.
It looked like a 1940s telecast. Looked like the whole thing was in black and white.
Yeah, that's their whole makeup. The gray and the work shirts and the factory, they call it.
Yeah.
And they had new turf. They had one former player paid for it for them, and it was similar to ours. It was a little bit different feel for a little bit, I think, for some of our guys early in the game, but. It was pretty good turf. I was impressed with their facilities. I mean, they had a new indoor that they just built. They needed to build a new football building. It looked really nice from the outside and see it from the inside. Looked there, and their coach said that they had been working on it. He'd been there 8 years, and he said it's finally got to where they need to have it.
Really? And again, that's what we were talking about. If you didn't see the telecast, or if you weren't up in Ypsilanti, that gray field with the green end zones, and it was just a rather disconcerting to look at. But right there, old Brock had himself a nice reception there.
Yeah, Brock is is one of the hardest workers on the team. In the weight room, on the practice field, he's getting his opportunity in the games. He's making the most of it.
Is his dad coming in to teach guys how to how to be tough?
No, but I met and one of his dad's roommates from way back in the day, a guy from Michigan, was a Michigan fan, came up to me after the game and said he was Brock's dad's roommate, and was a really nice guy. So they had a lot of stories to tell.
Yeah,
Sure.
Brock, of course, Rex Steiner. His dad is the WWE Hall of Famer Scott Steiner, and his cousin is also a WWE superstar. So, yeah,
I asked Brock if he was going to get into that profession. I don't think he wants to.
You don't think
seen
so?
Enough. No, I think who knows. He might wind up being in the family business, but. Brock, whatever he chooses to do, Brock's going to have success.
He's going to do a good job at it.
He's going to do a great job at it.
We're going to come right back. We're spending time with Coach Rich Rodriguez here this evening as the Jacksonville State Gamecocks get set to host Southern Mississippi this weekend. We'll talk more about that and a whole lot further as we continue on this Monday night edition of the Rich Rodriguez Show.
Can you buy for $10? A hat? A milkshake? 166 channels plus live sports? That's right, for only $10 you can get 166 channels of classic TV shows and movies, including the latest news update from all around the world and local sports. Just simply go to 24ctn.com and click download, and then for only $10 you can have access to the best TV available.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
We continue on this Monday night from the Apothecary Draft House here in Jacksonville, Alabama. Those of you on the TV side, you see the phone number 256-369-1688. And for those of you listening on the radio, that was the number 256-369-1688. And we're happy to have you along with us. Coach Rich Rodriguez is with us here as well. This has been the first time since 1946 that Jacksonville State and Southern Miss are getting together. What does Will Hall, the head coach, bring to town on Saturday?
He's the son of a longtime legendary high school coach in Mississippi. Will's been around. He's grown up in the profession.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a great job everywhere he's been. Really sharp guy. Got a lot of respect for him. And Southern Miss, I know a little bit about their program from way back. And when I was at Tulane, that was our rivalry.
Sure.
We played Southern Miss. And had been actually did a couple of their games broadcasting when I was doing TV. And so, got a lot of respect. They're in a great part of the country, really good football. And Will's a really good football coach. And he's got some good players. I don't know how many, talking about NIL. They did a great job of starting their own, some kind of collective they call it. Down there, but he's a go-getter, and he's had a couple years there in the transition and all that, but he's I got a lot of respect for Will.
Tate Rodemaker is his quarterback, a guy he got from Florida State University.
Yeah, played. I think it was played the bowl game, right? Started the bowl game for him, and then they got another quarterback that they played quite a bit in the last game, and big defensive front. You know, typical of a kind of a Southeast Conference type of 300-pounders on the D-line. So they've got some big guys up front, some good skill players. So it's going to be a good challenge.
Yeah, the other quarterback is Ethan Crawford, a young man from Tuscaloosa, who last week was 6 of 13 passing for 183 yards and 1 interception. So that's how things are stacking up. I'll tell you what, I love that drive you had over the weekend. 13 plays, 75 yards. That's Rich Rodriguez. You moved it along, but you still took time off the clock and ate away at the opponents.
Well, that was it. We typically our drives we're going a little more tempo, but you know there is if we can get first downs more than anything else, it gives our defense a chance not only to rest a little bit, but also make some adjustments on the sidelines. And so I think that drive helps us because a lot of times when you're in and out so quickly, the defense has a hard time making adjustments, or the coaches do. So, you know, that was a good one there. We just got to put more of them together, and we got to get, you know, for our defense, in order for us to win, we got to get some 3 and outs and some turnovers. And that's the biggest thing we've lacked in all of our games. We haven't gotten turnovers, and we haven't gotten 3 and outs.
Yeah, you mentioned Hale earlier, Late to Hale. In general, I mean, he had a sack over the weekend, 5 sacks for the team this past weekend, so that was a positive.
We got a little more pressure in the second half. The first half, we weren't good, but in the second half, we did get some quarterback pressures, and we limited some of their opportunities, which was good. And then we were close. We had our hands on the ball a couple times for turnovers, interceptions. That's going to be the key, not just in this next game, but all season is, you know, when you're not dominant, whatever, you got to be able to force them into long yardage situations, and then you got to get some turnovers.
If you're not familiar, folks, Southern Miss comes in this weekend. They lost at Kentucky in their opener, 31-0. They then beat Southeastern Louisiana. That one was in Hattiesburg, 35-10. And then they lost to South Florida, again in Hattiesburg, 49-24. Not that I'm a guru by any stretch, but that one surprised me. I'd seen South Florida play well at times, but I thought Southern Miss had a little bit more in them than that showed.
South Florida might be the best Group of 5 team in this part of the country.
You think so, huh?
Yeah, I mean, even the way they played Alabama. You know, they had, again, last year they almost beat them, and then this year they had them down to, you know, went down to the fourth quarter with them. So, you know, South Florida is probably, talent-wise, maybe the best Group of 5 team, or at least one of the top 5 anyway. So, and then Southern Miss had, you know, it was a close game, I think, until the fourth quarter, and then when they got ahead. So I'm sure they're you know, disappointed that they lost. But I saw just watching from the film that I saw more plays out of them in that game than I did in some of the others. So they're getting better as well.
Number 1, Ty Mims, and number 9, I believe it is, Larry Simmons. They're 2 top receivers. How are they different? What do they do?
Yeah, they're both pretty. They're both pretty athletic. And then we struggled last week with their number 1 and their best slot receiver. They moved him around, and we knew they were going to throw him the ball, and they moved him around, and we had to locate him a little bit quicker. So we've got to do a better job finding the guys quickly and adjusting to who they're going to throw the ball to most of the time. If they have a kind of a go-to, Man Singleton, that's the guy I'm thinking of, number 1 from Eastern. But you know, and Southern Miss, mark my words, and they did this last week and they did the week before, they always have a bunch of tricky stuff up their sleeves. You know, double passes, you know, throwback screens, or kind of reverse kind of passes and stuff like that. So they're going to do a bunch of stuff. We got to be very, very disciplined defensively, because I know the trick stuff is coming.
What are the size comparisons between yourselves and Southern Miss? Line play wins and loses games. How do you guys stack up this weekend?
Yeah, our O-line, we're fine size-wise up front. You know, we're not lacking for size. Our D-line, again, we've been undersized, and we've said that every week. We've got to, you know, we got to get bigger up front on the D-line. That's a given. But we do have a decent enough size. We just got to be active and great technique. Now, we're not as big as they are. Their D-line, they've got a 340-pound nose guard and a 300-pound defensive end. And, you know, they've got some size up front on the defense. You know, we don't have much size on defense at all, but we're fairly athletic, and we can get better up front. And we're trying to do some different things with our guys that let them have success.
let's go to Fayetteville, Georgia, and take a phone call from Ephraim. Hello.
Hey, Coach, what's up?
How you doing, Ephraim?
Good, good. Hey, Coach, I just want to make a statement. Each week, it seems like we're learning and getting better. So this coming week, the fourth game, we should blow it up. So I appreciate the effort and focus by the whole team. So thank you, guys, and I'll be there.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I do think, you know, I was madder and more disappointed at this game than any of them, just because of the opportunities that we had and didn't finish it and all that stuff. But you know, there's also moments you can look at where we got better, and we're going to have to do that again this week. And as I told the staff and the team, this concludes the non-conference part of it. We got to play well. We got to get better. We got to try to get a win in front of a good home crowd, and then we reset and start the conference thing. So that's the way it goes this year.
I saw where Jack Dawson, your punter, is up to 34th nationally as far as his numbers are concerned. He's done well for you.
He has. I don't know what he punted last game, just twice or something.
Yeah, last game he had one punt for 44 yards,
punt, which is good. We don't want him to punt.
No,
but Jack takes his craft very seriously.
Yeah, he does. He is averaging 43.4 yards per punt, and as we said, that puts him 34th nationally. Another guy who's ranking up there nationally is Poyser. 3 more passes broken up. That's 23rd in the country.
Yeah, he's a young guy. We talked about him last week. He's got a lot of talent, a lot of ability. Going to keep giving. This is really his first extended time, you know, in the last couple games. So, you know, really excited for his future. You know, he had 1 or 2 balls in his hands. But he's got good ball skills. So we got to have a big game out of him again this week.
Hey, let me ask you about a story from the National Football League, but it has impact to you and everybody who loves this game. Tua Tagovailoa, the former Alabama quarterback, now quarterbacking the Dolphins. The game has certainly improved in safety and medical awareness, but here he is, has another concussion. He says he doesn't intend to retire, and it's not my business nor yours what he does. He has to make that call for himself. Right. But how does your medical staff handle such situations?
We're very good, and there's also somebody in the league that watches every game. It's in the box that if they think is a possible concussion, they can buzz down and tell our trainers to remove them from the game, take a look at them. And I love our training staff. I think we've got a great training staff.
We've not talked about them at all.
Yeah. You know, Mike, our head trainer, does a great job. You know, Butch and all of our team doctors are terrific. We got great medical care. And that's one thing I tell all our coaches. I said, we might, as much as we want our guys to play, and if they get injured and all that, we have no business ever stepping into a trainer or a doctor's way. So I've never done that. Whatever the trainer says, he's good to go or he's not good to go, whatever the case, the treatment is and all that, they handle all that 100%. We meet every morning and they tell us what the injury list is and what they got to do. My only demand is that when they're injured, they got to get treatment at 7 in the morning, and they keep getting treatment until they're healthy. And other than that, you know, and the concussion thing is, guys have been getting concussions for years.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I know I've probably had quite a few. Maybe that's the reason why I make a bad play call. I just blame it on, you know, one of those concussions I got playing football. But the truth is there's better equipment now.
Yeah.
There's better helmets now, but the guys are faster and stronger now too. And so it's a good thing that's happening, and I think the awareness is good as well. And I tell, you know, you could talk about all the harmful things of concussions and all that's real, and I think you have to pay attention to it and all that. But even with the risk, there'll still be a line of guys down the street that want to play.
Sure.
Whether it's professionally or college or whatever the case may be. So, you know, the risk, the players know the risk. I think our job as coaches and people that administer the game is try to make it as safe as possible. Targeting thing was a great thing to help them get safer. Better helmets is a thing.
Yep.
Now you have the Guardians that you put over top your helmets for practice. That's really helped as well. That's been a tremendous thing for us in the NFL to help in concussions. So you have to look at everything we can do to make it safer, but still there's going to be a violent, you know, component to our football games.
But I bet it all boils down also to recruiting. When you can sit in a family's living room and say, Mom and Dad, we're going to look after your young son here. We're not going to play him even though he wants to play if he can't because of an illness or an injury.
If you're a coach and you ever step in that in any sport and do that, and you got no business being in there because that's not your expertise, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like I had kinesiology. I don't know how the hell I passed it. I must have.
I can't even spell it, so don't worry about it.
Me either. So I mean, the people that do that professionally for a living are the ones that are going to be taking care of your players. And I think all of our guys. I don't really know. People talk about, this coach forced this guy. I don't know if I'd ever heard of a coach in any, around college ever say, well, try to overrule a trainer or a doctor. That doesn't happen because we all know that that's not our business. They tell us who's ready to play, and then we coach them.
That's Rich Rodriguez. He is the head coach at Jacksonville State University's football program, and this is his show on Monday nights. We're going to come right back and continue our conversation. Lots to discuss, and if you'd like to be on the show, call us at 256-369-1688. That's 256-369-1688.
I need to try it first.
The Civilian Marksmanship Program, also known as CMP, is a national organization dedicated to training and educating U.S. citizens in responsible uses of firearms and air guns through gun safety training, marksmanship training, and competitions. Their vision is to lead the nation in marksmanship excellence, providing safe, high-quality, and innovative programs with a focus on youth. For more information about the CMP and upcoming events, visit thecmp.org.
Eli Gold here, ready for a winning drive? Go see my friends at Cooper Chevy Buick. Choose from hundreds of new Chevys and Buicks, including a great selection of Car Bravo certified used. Score big with low finance rates and ask about their guaranteed credit approval program. Get top dollar for your trade, no matter the yardage. Your road to victory starts today at Cooper Chevrolet Buick in Anniston or online, cooperchevrolet.com. Official sponsor of JSU Athletics.
Brett Martin Young Oil, serving East Alabama for over 80 years. Come into one of our many locations throughout East Alabama and try our Joe Bell's coffee along with some Odeo's donuts. From Center to Jacksonville to Auburn and everywhere in between, Brett Martin is here for you.
I need to try it first.
Continuing from Jacksonville, Alabama, on this Monday night, the Apothecary Draft House, home to the Rich Rodriguez Show, and we welcome you back inside. I'm Eli Gold. The coach is alongside. Trey Stewart, another touchdown this past weekend. That's 26 now rushing touchdowns in his career. He's a pleasant, I don't want to say a surprise.
It has been a little surprise.
But it kind of is, yeah.
Kind of Division II guy. We were down in the spring to like 2 running backs, and then we had to find some guys as quick as we could, and we were looking for some veterans, and he was very productive at Division II level and has come here and had a great summer. He had to get in better shape, and he's a great young man. Really proud of the way he's come on. He's probably had too many snaps. We need to get Q Lewis in there and Andrew Paul and some of those other guys to mix it up a little bit more, but he continues to impress.
Andrew Paul, of course, the transfer from the University of Georgia, who's got 5 carries this year. How do you work these guys in, Coach? It's not easy.
Yeah, they all do all. We run. All those guys run all our plays, so it's not like this guy runs this play and this guy runs that play. But inevitably, there's different size with them, and the Q Lewis is the only one that has any experience. So the rest of them, they're still kind of learning and growing a little bit. But we got 3 or 4 of them that we feel confident with, and as the season goes along, which there's still a lot of games left to play, we're going to need all of them.
Sure. Is there somebody that we have not seen much of yet who you think is really going to raise some eyebrows when he starts getting significant playing time?
Well, you know, you mentioned the running backs. I think Andrew Paul is coming along.
Yeah.
We got Big Mike Franklin, who's added to the roster late. He's the biggest back we got. He's about 225 pounds.
From Daphne, Alabama.
Yeah, from Daphne. Was out at UTEP, and now he's back with us, and we're excited to get him into shape. You know, he got here late in the summer, so he's a guy that's going to continue to work to get better and get in the mix a little bit as well. So, you know, and there's other guys. We didn't get many of our slot receivers in the game like we wanted to. Gerard Bowie is a guy that we feel confident with at slot receiver. Flip Rudolph has been, we got confident for him playing in a slot receiver too. And so Petway was hot, and so we kind of kept him in there. But we've got a lot more skill guys we're going to throw in there.
Flip, of course, a transfer from UAB, and Bowie from Concord by way of Martinsburg High School in West Virginia. Don't let me screw up the name of his sitting in West Virginia.
Yeah, he was another Division II player that joined us last year, and we didn't want to. He was learning all year, so we didn't want to burn his redshirt year, and so he was able to get a little bit of experience, and then now he's taken another step. He's a good football player.
Yeah, I know a guy, and you may know him as well, but I won't mention his name, who used to say to me, he said, "Give me guys with toughness and heart and the want to, if you will, and I'll take them every day over guys with talent but no heart." A good statement?
Yeah, but there's still a certain level of ability and size
you gotta have that. Yeah.
You know, at this level, you know, you gotta have a little bit. And when you have that guy that has the size and the speed and the athleticism, combine that with the want to and the toughness, then you win championships. You know, that's the goal. That's what you want to have. And you know, as coaches, you could try to develop a lot of things. Athletically, we get them stronger and faster a little bit and all that. But the biggest role for coaches is to develop the other part of it. You know, you say, can you make a guy tough? Sometimes you can. The old saying that says, if the puppy won't bite when he's a puppy, he ain't going to bite when he's a dog. And I used to believe that as well. And then there was a freshman wide receiver, I'm not going to mention his name, that I had at West Virginia.
Okay.
And he was a puppy when he was a freshman. He wouldn't block anybody. He was timid. He wouldn't, you know, every time he had an opportunity to put his face in the fan, so to speak, he wouldn't do it. And I told those guys, I said, this puppy ain't biting. You know, I don't think he'll ever biting a dog. And then a hard off season later. I mean, it was a hard off season. We got on him. He got on him and all that. He turned not only into a starter, but became the best stock blocking wide receiver I have ever coached to this day.
Really?
You know, and wound up being a 3-year starter, captain of the team, and just proved the difference. I mean, he just took a step from being a little timid freshman to not ever to being, okay, I'm going to buy into this. And in fact, his last game, I think he caught 3 passes for 100-some yards and a touchdown in a bowl game to lead us to a win. So it was kind of taught me a lesson there.
I bet. Are there a lot of differences from a coaching standpoint between a Power 4 team and a Group of 5 team? I'm not talking facilities, just your responsibilities.
Yeah, you do more. I mean, I think when you're a small college coach, when I was Division II NAIA coach, you did everything. You know?
Yeah.
And then my wife, she painted the fields, you know, until she got 8.5 months pregnant. And I said, that's probably not a good idea to line the field off. But you learn a little bit about everything, not just offense, defense, special teams, but everything else involved with the program when you're a small college head coach.
Right.
So the experience was invaluable. And I think there's a lot of times that I tell our guys, I want them to do, our young coaches, we got a bunch of young coaches, to do more, to have more responsibility, to learn more about the game and all that kind of stuff. They're going to make a career out of it.
What does a veteran coach like Coach Trickett, what does he teach your young coaches?
The biggest thing about when you've been there and done that, there's probably not a lot of things that's happened that you haven't seen before.
That's true.
And you know, hopefully you have the answer to it, and you might not be able to get the answer right then, but you know how to solve the problem. Whether you solve it in the future or you solve it right away, you know what the answer is to that problem. So that's the value to experience. Now, I said this, and I think it probably said in this show, there's a lot of times coaches brag, I got 20 years experience or 30 years experience, but they never learned or grew. So all I do is got 1 year experience repeated 20 times.
Yeah.
You know, I think I know more football now, and you might not think now, but I think I know more football now than I did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or certainly more than 25 years ago. And the same way, I think the same true of my staff. I said, you guys owe it to the program and to yourself to every year grow yourself as a coach, and that's important.
How do coaches change? And I mean, for instance, I've known coaches who for 3 years were running back coaches. Then they became the linebacker coach and all of this. Is coaching? Is
it
that
is, and
what
that's
it
a
is,
good point.
basically?
And I think sometimes it's good to change. I think if you all just stay in one lane and you never kind of, it's like being involved in special teams, you know. And my coaches are ambitious. I think they want to be involved in special teams. They want to learn. I want all the coaches to want to be a coordinator, and then all the coaches, hopefully, they want to be a head coach. You know, my time of going through that, you know, I started off young as a head coach, so most of my experience was through that. But, you know, a lot of our guys, I think, I want them to get value. I probably have spent more time lecturing my staff in the last, 5-6 months than I have in 30 years. And it's not just because there's a lot of young coaches, it's because I want them to kind of, not that I know it all, but I want them to know different things, and I want them to ask questions. That's the biggest thing I want. I said, you as a coach, I want you to be inquisitive and ask questions, whether it's to me or Trickett or amongst each other. And then I even mentioned to our staff today, I said, our offensive coaches and our defensive coaches should be meeting together and saying, what would you do to stop this? Or what would you do to go against that? Or what hurt you on this? And that way you ask, critical questions to each other. It's going to help you put your game plan together.
What is your strength as being a coach? What are you best at?
Well, it depends, I think if you're asking me personally, I think it's probably because I have a pretty good feel for, for players' mentalities. I have a pretty good feel for how you want to approach, attack somebody offensively and on special teams, and even on defense a little bit. I think their experience has helped me kind of like, I've taken, I could take a world view of everything that's going on in a program and then break it down to this is what we got to work on today, this and this and that to get better. And a lot of that's experience, but also a lot of it is I'm still hungry to learn. Like if I see a play that it can be fit into our offense and we can work it and help us win a game, I'm not going to be too stubborn. Wow, we've never done that. I mean, why not try? So I've always on the look for them. This is where I get so frustrated. My wife has to deal with it that these games when we lose, it's like. I still treat it like the end of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was a bridge in Ypsilanti, I'd have jumped off it, And thank God there wasn't a bridge. And I wasn't by the door at the plane when we took off or landed. So it's hard because you put so much into it, and you see your players, you see your family puts everything into it, and it's hard when it doesn't come out the way you want it to come out. And you think after 28 years of doing this, you learn to go with the flow a little bit.
No.
It ain't happening.
No. I've worked with a lot of coaches. They can tell you every moment of every loss. They may be a little fuzzy on some of the wins, but they can remember every loss. That's what you guys are made of.
Yeah, and it's, that's not always, I don't know if that's the healthiest.
But it's a fact.
Yeah, it's a fact. I don't think that's the healthiest way to live and enjoy it. And I think there are coaches that are better at that than I am.
Yeah.
That learn how to handle it better.
But about learning, I remember one day we were at a dinner and waiting for Coach Nick Saban to join us. And he was late, which for him is...
Never happens.
Never happens. And I asked him, I said, what happened? Where were you? And he said, I forget who it was, like Boston College or somebody had pulled some kind of a defense, and he said, I saw it on the ESPN highlights. He said, and I'd never really seen that defense before. He said, I'm grabbing paper and a pen, jotting it down. He goes, next thing I know, I'm 10 minutes late. I mean, here's the guy, he's been around forever, and even everybody learns.
And it's funny when Nick said it's I've known him too for a long, long time, and he was serious about it. He said when he feels he no longer can give everything he's got to it, then he's going to get out for the sake of the program, but also for the sake of himself.
Yeah.
I still think Nick still got a lot of juice in the tank. You know, he's doing all these commercials and TV and all that kind of stuff. But when you do it as long as he's done it, and you do it as long as I've done it as a head coach, it's different. I mean, it's like dog years. You know, every year your coach as a head coach is like 7 years. So I'm like 160 years old right now.
Well, you look remarkably good.
Well, yeah, I don't feel like it, but it's the truth. It's different, and everybody's going to be a head coach for the first time. They find that out in the first few weeks that it is different sitting in that chair because, you know, it's the decisions you make. I think I probably said it on this show. I read a great thing about elementary school teachers. One of the biggest problems they suffer from is decision fatigue because they got to make so many decisions throughout the day teaching those little kids. And that's what you do as a head coach. You have 1,000 decisions to make every day, every week. And you're not going to make them all right, of course. But the more you make right, the better off you're going to be. But it's still a lot. And that's why I try to tell our coaches, you got to prepare as much. They've got to help me in decision making, but I'm fortunate to be in that spot to make those.
Sure.
And they're going to want to be in that spot someday, so you got to prepare yourself to make those decisions while you're moving up to that spot.
Sure. Coach Rich Rodriguez with us here on his show. The Rich Rodriguez Show comes your way every Monday evening from the Apothecary Draft House here in Jacksonville. We're coming right back. There's more to talk about. Don't you go away.
Whether it's family for dinner or game time, it's time for Johnson's Giant Foods Deli. All you have to do is drop by Johnson's Giant Foods and grab whatever you want, hot and ready to go. Chicken salad and chicken fingers to die for. Savory ribs, salad, dessert, you name it. It's waiting for you and your family or friends. Johnson's Giant Foods with 5 locations in Gadsden, Atala, Jacksonville, and Coldwater.
The weather is warming up and spring is just around the corner at Miller Sand and Landscape Supply. I'm Craig Miller and we've got something for everyone. From bulk materials like sand, gravel, and mulch to beautiful outdoor decor to make your outdoor living space the envy of the neighborhood. See our beautiful selection of Mazzarelli fountains, flowers to brighten your garden, and an outdoor center loaded with beautiful decor. Whether you need a little or a lot, visit Miller Sand and Landscape Supply.
Serving East Alabama for over 20 years, Samco is your local convenient, clean, and friendly gas station. Fill up your tank with gas, diesel, or your favorite snacks and drinks. Samco has 48 locations to serve you in Calhoun, Etowah, Marshall, Talladega, and Cleburne counties. Samco is a proud community leader in giving back to help support local schools in East Alabama. For your convenient, clean, and friendly gas station needs, it's Samco.
The Point at JSU is an off-campus student housing property located a half a mile away from Jacksonville State University. The Point offers fully furnished, pet-friendly, 2 bedrooms and 4 bedroom units. Resident experience is our #1 priority, therefore we do offer the following amenities: a resort-style pool, fitness center, basketball and volleyball court, and dog park. We would love for you to come see our property, so give us a call at 256-376-8317 to schedule a tour today.
We are back on the Rich Rodriguez Show. We opened up tonight with Jack State Live with Sean Frazier. Sean is the soccer coach, and Coach Rich Rodriguez now with us. You know, I was thinking as I was watching the game Saturday about overtime. And we've all been involved in a number of overtime games, although they're not common, but we all have had our share. How do you prepare a team? I mean, you've either just come from behind to tie it, or you've done a great job keeping it tied, or whatever the deal is. Is it a challenge to regain momentum in an overtime period?
It's just a complete reset when overtimes. I've been in quite a few, and when it gets to overtime, you might have a momentum at the end of the game and all that kind of stuff, but really you're just completely resetting, you know, trying to think about, okay, now your red zone stuff is going, whether you're on offense or defense or field goals. You be prepared for that, and you get in the third overtime, you got to have all, you know, start with the second overtime. You know, you got to be ready for your 2-point plays and all that stuff. I like the college before when they go back and forth. You had remember the A&M game, it was like 6 or 7 overtimes. So they've changed it now to where there's going to be a winner pretty shortly because you play so many plays with that. But it's college. I think the college overtime is so much more exciting than the NFL one.
Yeah, the NFL one is just a continuation of play. And
there's so much involved in who wins a coin toss. You get the ball first and score a touchdown, you win.
It's over, yeah.
So it's in college, I think it's a little fairer.
All right, let's talk about this Saturday. Nice Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock start over at the stadium. Watch the first, as you meet with the players tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday, what do you tell them about Southern Miss? What's your biggest concern? What are the things you warn them about and so on?
Yeah, they can see the film. They're going to be very athletic. They've got a lot of talented skill guys on offense. You know, we got to play hard, which is goes without saying, but we've got to play discipline too. That's going to be the biggest thing. We're going to always play hard, and we're going to continue to watch to make sure we play as hard or harder than our opponent. But more than anything, we got to have a better better discipline. You know, not just regard to penalties, but to assignments and things that are going to happen throughout the course of the game. You know, they're going to do some different stuff and we haven't seen before. We got to have enough discipline and not have it be a big play, whether it's on offense or defense.
How many games of Southern Miss will you watch just this season, or will you go back to last year?
Yeah, we'll go back a little bit, you know, because they only got 3 games and they got a new defensive coordinator.
Yes.
So we got to watch some of the film where he's at before. And watch a couple games of that. 3 games is a decent sample size, but you're typically going through 5 or 6 of them, and particularly if it's a new coordinator.
Tyler Huff, a report card from Saturday.
Thought he played well. He's a competitor. I thought he was seeing the field. There's probably 2 or 3 that he maybe have missed or something that he'll catch on down the road. But I've been really impressed with him. Not only his ability to throw the ball into some tight windows, but also his ability to run. I mean, he's a sneaky good runner.
He really is, yeah.
And he's a great competitor, and I'm really proud of the way he's playing.
And I mentioned Petway earlier, 21.3 yards per catch. That's an impressive number.
And Pet is a guy that can play any position, will do anything we ask for him. I mean, just a great team player, and has been that since the day we got here.
And he's all of 5'10".
Yeah, but he's got decent size.
He plays big, though.
Yeah, he plays big, and he's a tough guy too. You know, makes some catch. Well, our guys did. They took some blows and hung on to the ball. So I was proud of the receiver group.
They really did. Well, listen, it's always great, as always, to be with you on Monday nights
Thank you.
Spend time together and have yourself a good week of preparation. And we'll see you Saturday.
Thank you. I appreciate all my friends coming again. It's good to see you
Good
guys.
crowd here. Thank you. Rich Rodriguez joining us, head football coach for Jacksonville State University, as he and his team get set to meet Southern Mississippi, 2 o'clock at Amherst Stadium here in Jacksonville on Saturday. We're going to come right back. We've got more to talk about, so don't you go away, as we're live at the Apothecary Draft House. We continue right after this.
At Southern States Bank, we pride ourselves on being your bank. We're your neighbors and involved in the community. We're the bank featuring the Southern Rewards checking account, a cashback account with no ATM fees. We are on the cutting edge and always have a smiling face to help you out. So come to Southern States Bank, where we are committed to great service and being a great neighbor. Let us be the bank for you and your business.
Hello everyone, Tony Russell, General Manager of Sonny King Ford. And boy, do we have unbelievable markdown on used cars that you do not want to miss. It's time to make the best deal on a used car. Shop our wide selection of used trucks and premium pre-owned models. Don't wait another day. Come by and see me, Tony Russell, and let's make a custom deal for you. Find great savings on pre-owned used cars at Sonny King Ford on the sunny side of the street, Anniston, Oxford.
At Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or
Hi, everybody. I'm Eli Gold, and I want to invite you to tune in to Jack State Live, a look at the campus and athletic department at Jack State, followed by the Coach Rich Rod Show, where we will break down and preview the next football game for the Gamecocks. Welcome back, everybody, to Jacksonville, Alabama, the Apothecary Draft House right here on the square. Open every evening. They've got entertainment, live entertainment, and a great time to be had by all. So feel free to come on by and be part of it, whether it's Monday night for the show or any other day throughout the week. You know, we were talking with the coach, and we just kind of ran out of time. There are 13 players from the state of Alabama who play for Southern Mississippi. And that includes Kristen Booth from the Oxford area, closest to where we are. And Jack State has 5 players from the state of Mississippi, including Marco Baker and Talon Carter, Reginald Hughes, Jamarian Larry, and Zedrick Washington. He's from Magnolia, Mississippi. So, and of course, the always constant, the thing that goes from year to year to year to year, Jacksonville State assistant coach Rick Trickett. He worked for the Golden Eagles back in the 1980s, 1982, 83, and 84. So there are some continuing bloodlines, if you will, between these two schools. Let's take a look at what's coming up this week as far as sports is concerned in Jacksonville State's world, and everybody seemingly is in action. The men's golf team opening up with the Wildcat Invitational, or I shouldn't say opening up, but continuing. That's in Kansas. That's Manhattan, Kansas, and they'll be there this week. Thursday, volleyball is at Louisiana. And then soccer plays against Liberty. Friday, volleyball is against Southern Louisiana at Louisiana Lafayette. Then we've got men's cross country, the Oneonta-based Firehawk Invitational. Florida A&M will play host to the volleyball team on Saturday. And of course, here in Jacksonville, the homecoming weekend. Football and Southern Mississippi, 2 o'clock at Amherst Stadium. The telecast will be on ESPN+. Hope you can tune in for that one if you can't make it to the game. Sunday, soccer against Talladega. And then next week, golf from Sunday through Tuesday. The GMAC Invitational as everybody gets set to head to the links for another weekend of action. So that's what's going on the schedule this week as far as Jacksonville State is concerned. But for now, we are out of time. A big thank you to soccer coach Sean Frazier, and of course, a big thank you to Coach Rich Rodriguez. I'm Eli Gold. We'll talk to you Saturday with football against the Golden Eagles of Southern Mississippi. Until then, good night from the Apothecary.
Can you buy for $10? A hat? A milkshake? 166 channels plus live sports? That's right, for only $10 you can get 166 channels of classic TV shows and movies, including the latest news update from all around the world and local sports. Just simply go to 24ctn.com and click download, and then for only $10 you can have access to the best TV available.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor Difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero-turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I want to live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
Eli Gold here, ready for a winning drive? Go see my friends at Cooper Chevy Buick. Choose from hundreds of new Chevys and Buicks, including a great selection of Car Bravo certified used. Score big with low finance rates and ask about their guaranteed credit approval program. Get top dollar for your trade, no matter the yardage. Your road to victory starts today at Cooper Chevrolet Buick in Anniston or online, cooperchevrolet.com. Official sponsor of JSU Athletics.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I want to live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller.